Is that an X? Is that an O? So sports talk? Yeah. Let's go. Got some swag. Whoa. What did I say? She sipping on some XO? Do we have our own winery? What?
Should we have the police check them?
What's in that cup, man?
Some go-go juice. Some XO go-go juice.
Oh, that's next. That will be next.
Coming to a store near you, folks.
There it is. How's everybody today?
Doing good.
Good.
Doing good. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. I was rocking the
man.
hat there for a moment too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely be on my head in the summertime.
Oh, yeah.
Swagoo.
I know, right?
Well, Emerson's working. Malcolm's working.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing those two, they're probably together trying on some new Dallas Cowboy gear somewhere.
They probably went to Dallas
Yeah.
or San Fran.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yep, San
probably
Fran.
San Fran.
They went to San Fran. Yeah, that's right. Tell them, T. Niner fan, you tell them. All it out.
You know what time it is. Bang, bang, 49er gang.
And I can see Emerson, just sitting on the curb and eating some ribs with a homeless person.
The food's good. The food's good.
Yeah.
Hey, you're not gonna eat that last rib.
Yeah.
You probably share it with him. Knowing M.
And Malcolm would just keep on walking, going, "I ain't got time for this."
Yeah, the game is about to start. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You stay right there and eat.
Yep. So that's the difference between the two, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Terry, how are you tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Friday's almost here. I made it. We made it, Ma.
He's on top of the world.
Yeah, that's it.
And you have it's incredible. We got about 17 weeks of football.
Mm-hmm.
And T stayed with the Niners through the bad, the good, the ugly. And all of a sudden he gets a quarterback out of nowhere, Brock Purdy. And we're going to talk about that later on.
Yeah, he's on top of the world.
Relevant.
Yeah. Brian, how are you tonight?
I am doing well, man. I'm doing well. I'm glad to see all my friends here. And so it's good to see everybody.
Yep.
Yes, it was that some people. Let me tell you about my best friend. Brian, tell me about that subscribe button, please.
Well, we would like to thank all the XO Sports fans and followers. We would like to thank you for all your support and listening and chiming in. XO Sports, we don't just talk about the X and O's of the sport, but we talk about the love of the game. Be sure to follow us on, all your major podcast platforms. We're currently streaming on those. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to click that subscribe and hit that notification bell. It'd be greatly appreciated. And feel free to join in on the debate or topics in the comment section. Also, you can call in 475-221-5006 as well.
All righty. Terry.
Yes, sir.
We're almost close to the college basketball playoffs.
Yep, March Madness.
March Madness will be here before we know
It's
it.
coming up.
Yep. And let's hope winter's on its way out.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Terry, give me the college basketball rankings for women and men, please.
All right. First off, let me just give a shout out to Debbie Gamble, who's in the chat tonight. What's up, Deb?
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Debbie.
tuning in.
Hello.
Yes. Thanks, Deb.
Yes,
I
yep.
hope all is well. Hope the new year is treating you well.
Yeah. Where was those lottery numbers? Where was those Mega Million numbers last week, Dad?
She's not sharing anything.
I know. $1.3 billion it made. I was like, are you kidding me? You couldn't just give me that number last week for my birthday?
Billions.
Oh man, wasn't meant to be. I mean, you got another chapter to follow.
Oh, don't give me no
Yes,
tissue.
sir. Yes,
I
sir.
want no tissue right now. Get out of my face. Get that tissue out of my face. I want the money.
But let's get into the top AP top 25 for both men and women college basketball. And you know what? We're just going to talk about the cream of the crop, or the creme de la creme, as they like to say. So we're just going to touch on the top 5 for both the women and the men today. Coming in at number 1 for the women, we have South Carolina at 18-0. Dawn Staley again doing a magnificent job coaching the women on that team. That team is always well prepared, well coached. Shout out to her. We've got number 2, Ohio State, coming in at 18-0. At number 3, LSU Tigers, 18-0 as well. So this top 5 is very competitive. And then we have Stanford always in the mix at 17-2. And at number 5, Gino and the UConn Huskies at 15-2. And they're doing this without their All-American player, Paige Becker. So watch out. You know, UConn's always well coached. We'll see what happens tournament time. But you have pretty much your usual suspects in the mix right now. And then over on the men's side, we have the University of Houston Cougars at number 1 at 17-1. And this is their first time being ranked in the AP top 25 at number 1 since 1983. Wow. And in 1983, they had a nickname of Phi Slamma Jamma.
Ooh.
And the players on that team were Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon, 2 Hall of Famers. For the younger crowd that's watching tonight, go look that up. Phi Slamma Jamma. They were tough.
Yep.
And at number 2, we've got the Kansas Jayhawks at 16-1. And Purdue had a loss this week, dropping down from number 1 to number 3. Yeah. And then we have number 4, Alabama at 15-2. And at number 5, the UCLA Bruins at 16-2. Both teams for the men and women this upcoming weekend, they all have games. So keep an eye out. Watch their games. It's going to be competitive. You know they're going to be good. So tune in, because I'm sure these rankings are going to change next week. Somebody's dropping. Yeah. Somebody's climbing.
Always. Yep.
All right.
Expectations. You know how that
Rise
goes.
to the top until you fall.
And Bethany Grace says hi. What's up, Bethany?
Hey,
thanks for tuning in.
How
Good
are
to
you?
see you
Thank
too,
you for
Beth.
tuning in.
Yep.
Smile.
Yeah.
Let's see your teeth.
She sent a smiley face, matter of fact.
Yeah.
The NBA guys, I'll tell you what, the West is like a shootout.
Mm-hmm.
One week you win, next week you lose. So what do you think about what's going on in the NBA, Terry?
Well, for me, I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. Let's talk about Nikola Jokic, the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
He's making a case to win his third straight MVP. And if he could do it, I mean, he's joining some Hall of Famers like Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and Larry Bird as the only three people to do it in the NBA. This guy is a once in a lifetime talent, man, generational talent, man. And he's doing it at center. He can score, he can pass. And, he does it, they call him a point center, but he does all this without really dribbling the ball. You look at his numbers, he's averaging 25 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. And I think last night he had I think he went for his third straight triple-double. You look at the Denver's offensive numbers when he's on the floor. They're ranked number one in the league. Number one in the league. When he's off the floor, their numbers drop so bad that they go to last in the league offensively. And, one thing I'll just say is he's that good of a player and this is no slight to Jamal Murray because he's a heck of a player too. But if you took him off that team, they would not be sitting atop of the Eastern Conference right now. Yeah. I can guarantee you that. But another thing before I end it, I'll just say, ask the media and everyone that votes for the MVP, don't overlook him because you're tired of seeing his name. If he's doing what he's doing right now towards the end of the season, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Brian.
And that was perfect because I remember the last time we did talk, we talked about him winning a three-peat for the MVP. And as we see for his size, he does it on both ends. He's dominant. He can pass, and then he's grabbing rebounds as well. So he's not just spotting up on the outside shooting threes. So he's playing big. So he's playing to his size. So and this NBA season is going to be something I think that we haven't seen because I don't think before you had your Golden State who was pretty much dominant and it was like you kind of knew they were going to be there at the end. This year, anybody can come out of the West to me. On any given night, you will have a team beat one night and then lose the next night. To me, I remember early in the season, before the season started, I was saying I was going to keep my eye out on Sacramento, which I'm very surprised right now. They're in the third spot out in the West.
Very good team. They look good.
Yeah. So I can't even say enough on that. It's just for them to be third in the West just speaks volumes of the way they are retooling that team. Out in the East, Boston looks dominant. They look like they are ready to win a championship the way they're playing, and they were playing that on both ends. That means offense and defense. But I can see Milwaukee being a tough out for them. But I think in a 4 or 5 or 7 game series, I think they would get the best of them. But this NBA season is going to be something that we never seen because I don't know who can win it this year. I think there's at least 10 teams that you might say can even win it, and you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are so nice. I admire you two.
Yeah.
I admire my brother. If the knowledge that he just put down and the knowledge that Terry just put down. Myself, I don't care. Not one iota. For the simple fact, I am upset with LeBron James. I am upset with the Lakers. And I said, I am going to harp on this all year long. If you are out in the winter, in the snow, and you're looking for a jacket, I will not give you one because LeBron James needs to go. Having him on that roster is
Sells
is a
tickets.
waste of time. Waste of time. They're 20 and 25.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to find the fountain of youth at the end of the season. So why hold on to him?
Sells tickets.
Yeah. And
Jersey sales.
we keep going over that, but there's nothing you're going to. What are you going to get?
You get a first round pick.
Nah, I don't
Easily.
think. Well, no, because you're just saying just like a first round pick, but you still got to make the money match.
Let's put it like this. You can send them to Miami.
No, they don't.
You can send them to New York.
No.
But here's the thing.
Keep going over.
I'll say this. As much as New York fans wouldn't want to hear it, New York makes the most sense for LeBron and the Knicks. And the reason I say that is because if he can go there and win a championship, how many finals he's been to and lost, that's all out the door. You went to the Mecca and you brought them a championship since 73. His legacy would be cemented. He'd get a statue in front of Madison Square. Well, I don't know with that owner, with James Dolan, but they would want a statue of him in front of Madison Square Garden.
I don't think they would put they couldn't put a statue of him up there, but his name would go up in those Raptors.
Yeah.
Oh, it would count. That would be like winning 3 championships if you won one in New York. But only thing, once again, Knicks seem to be headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
So what are you giving up to the Lakers for LeBron?
And they're
like you said, Aaron, you saying picks, but you can't just say picks because you got to throw some players in there to make the money match.
I'm like this with the Lakers. I'm giving you a pick and I'm giving you bums to match whatever I have to do to trade LeBron to New York. I'm going to give you a first round pick. You can't at what LeBron's 38 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's you're going down the street at 90 miles an hour on an old tire.
So
it's just a matter of time before that tire busts.
Well, I don't know.
At 38, he can't play the defense that he used to. His offense, he would basically be a guard, and then he would pretty much hog up the basketball because he'd want to be the guard.
Well, I mean, he's in control. At the end of the day, he's in control because of the situation because he's got the no trade clause.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You're not giving up a player for somebody who got no trade clause, like you said. So you're not sending him anywhere. You're sending him where he want to go.
If he's smart, he'd go to the Knicks.
Well, who knows?
The owner for Cleveland's not going to want him back.
Nah, I don't even know.
Miami, Pat Riley's going to tell him no. So the closest team that's right on the verge of making the playoffs, the Knicks.
Yeah, but you're going to have to give up a lot. You're going to have to give up a few of your young players.
Exactly.
And it'll be more
than
one pick.
Yeah, you just saying a pick.
I'll give you a first and a second. I'm not giving you 2 first-round picks.
Oh, you're giving a first and a second. You basically giving up your draft.
Yeah.
It's only 2 rounds and
well, if I gave up a first round pick in 2023, the next one would have to be in 2026. I would not do it back-to-back years.
I don't even think you can do it back-to-back no more. But
that's what I would do.
Still,
3 years away.
But still, you got to give players up to make the money match. You can't just do bums because there ain't no bums making that kind of money. So
exactly, all those the Knicks are really young right now, and they're not making any type of money. To match his salary.
But not to say, I I'm interested to see how this next 4 weeks play out too with the Nets, with KD being out. I think Kyrie's playing tonight, but I know it's something with his calf. But Ben Simmons he's gonna have to wake up and carry the load if he wants to be a franchise player or kind of come back into his own. This will be the time for him to build his confidence.
He's still at therapy. He's still taking therapy sessions. He's never going to be that lead star of an NBA team.
Well, I don't even want him to be a star. I think this is a good opportunity, aggressive to get his confidence going, because now he's almost in a predicament where he has to score, or at least look to score.
If you don't have it now, he's never going to have it. The only way he would build that kind of confidence back, he would have to go to a losing team where that he can do anything. There's no pressure. And then he could build his confidence back, but it doesn't mean that he would have that confidence when he plays for a star team.
Well, with no KD, this will be the chance to do that. And
they're going to lose.
Well, I think they're in the 3rd spot right now, so that's why I said I'm keeping my eye on this 4 weeks while KD's out. See how he plays. I think I mentioned that to Terry before. Regular season is the time where, as Kobe said, this is the stuff where you worked on in the summer. You do that in the regular season, and then that carries over into the playoffs. The stuff that you've been working on all summer, season, playoff.
Yep. Let's move on, guys. NFL talk. Why didn't Lamar Jackson show up for the Ravens and Bengal game? And the second part to the question is, if you were a teammate of Lamar Jackson, would you want him back on the team? Terry.
He didn't show up because he was trying to make a point, in my opinion. I mean, he might have been able to play, but I think he really feels like the Ravens didn't value him. They didn't have to give him a new contract before the playoffs, before the season ended, but they could have came out and said that they're looking to negotiate something after the season. It's to me, this is a tragedy, because he's only been with them for 5 seasons, and I truly believe he's gone. He will not be a Raven or suit up in a Ravens uniform next year. He's representing himself. So what you see is his true feelings and actions, right? This is not some agent of a player that's saying, all right, let's play chicken to see which side is going to budge first. He didn't travel with the team. That's a big breadcrumb if you tell him, like, leading to him leaving. I mean, it's going to take a miracle, but I'll say that the marriage is probably over. And to talk, if I was his teammate, of course I would want him back for what he brings on the field. Our chances of winning games is a heck of a lot better when he's on the field. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say a lot of guys for the Ravens, both defense and offense, they were probably banged up, some little nagging injuries here and there, but they were willing to go out there and play the playoff game, knowing that they weren't at 100%. And I can only say those guys on that team in that locker room, they're the only ones that know if Lamar could have suited up, put on a knee brace, and maybe just gave it a try. But I would, to basically to end it, I would say I probably don't want him on the team, because if he's not going to give 100% or try to give 100%, whether it's the regular season or postseason, I'm gonna have the same attitude, and that might get him hurt. Because if I'm an offensive lineman, I might not block that DN coming through, or if I'm a running back, I might miss that block, and that's sad to say, but that's the NFL.
Yeah,
Brian.
and I think I kind of cross sections with you, T. I don't look at it that way. I look at it a little bit different. In regards to, I think the Ravens have a lot to do with this whole situation as well. Normally, when you have a rookie quarterback going that has a good season or a good career, you don't even let them get to the 5th year. You sign them in the 4th year. So that's number one. So he went out there in this 5th year. He was playing like an MVP at the start of the season.
Yep.
Then let's look down the line. Let's look more. He got hurt. He got banged up. Sometimes they say, well, it's not him. You know, he may not be able to throw. Maybe he's a running quarterback. He might get hurt. Or it's the system. Let's look at some of the other quarterbacks that are around him. Let's look at Justin Herbert. Ooh, I'm sure you guys can name the wide receivers that he's throwing to, right? Williams.
Yep.
I forgot the other wide receiver. Let's look at Josh Allen. Wide receiver, we know. Top, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm trying to think of another team. Who else? Joe Burrow. Look who he's throwing to.
Yep.
In the 4 years that Lamar's been there, can anybody right now tell me who's the number one or who was the number one wide receiver?
I'm not even gonna try and play it off like I can't. Huh? I can't name anybody.
What'd you say? They never had one.
But they did have Brown last year.
Who?
I think they called him Downtown Brown, Hollywood Brown.
Dude,
last year?
Yes, and he was a good wide receiver.
And what happened?
Because of their offensive scheme,
he getting left.
He left.
That was his rookie year, right?
No, he was with them.
No, I'm talking about Brown. I mean, that was what's the name's rookie year. That was Lamar's rookie year when he was with them.
Yeah. But the problem was, here's the problem. When they drafted Lamar Jackson, they said, okay, if we draft this kid, we're going to play the style like the San Francisco 49ers did with Kaepernick.
Mm-hmm.
Because the guy that designed the offense for Kaepernick is now on the Baltimore Ravens. But one of the things that the Baltimore Ravens do, instead of investing in wide receivers, they invest in tight ends. Block good, but go out in the go down the field to catch a pass. So, and then if you're a wide receiver, you could be good, but you're not getting the ball because what we want you to do is block. That's why nobody doesn't like to go to Baltimore, because they know Baltimore, you're not going to make any money.
Okay. So just by saying that, I think this was this Bates' first year? They drafted the wide receiver who's been in and out.
I think it was his first year.
Yeah. So you're saying you haven't drafted any kind of offensive weapons for him in 3 years?
But I designed an offense for his strength.
So,
and I don't think you can take Lamar Jackson and say, okay, Lamar, I'm going to put you in a Kansas City offense and run it. I don't think that would be his strength. You
don't think he can run that with Kelsey? Arm. You don't think he can do something with Kelsey and Hill and
okay.
Scotland?
Terry just said something.
What?
He's just said he's got the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does he have the accuracy?
Okay. Well, let me flip this, Jay. Josh Allen. Josh Allen.
Who's got better accuracy, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Well, Josh Allen. Well, let's go back to this year, not this year.
Answer the question.
Well, you can't say that. You're saying so. You're saying his throwing. You saying he throw better than Lamar? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the year, not this year, last year.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes throw better than Lamar?
Do you know when Josh Allen came out? He wasn't an accurate quarterback. They didn't.
But he's accurate now.
Well, look who he's throwing to, though. He has better weapons. That's my point. So you telling me, Josh? You telling me Lamar couldn't put up numbers if he had the talent that Josh Allen got?
Do you think Hubert for the Los Angeles Chargers? Do you think he's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson?
See what? Well, let me ask you this:
got weapons.
Name one of those guys who won an MVP.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm going to bring up Joe Burrows. Now that I've said all these quarterbacks,
yep.
Out of all of those quarterbacks that I just said, which one would you take, Lamar Jackson or one of them?
Yeah, but
Lamar Jackson falls at the bottom.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Can you tell me who Lamar Jackson's go-to receiver is on the Ravens?
Yeah, but I just asked you guys, who would you take? Would you all those quarterbacks that I've just mentioned, would you take Lamar Jackson over them?
Well, you can't. What you're saying is what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Will we take him over that? But we haven't seen him with the talent that they have.
Right.
That's what we're saying.
Right.
You never put him out there with the talent that he's had. So you're just saying, oh, we designed the offense around you, which is nothing. And he did it. So you're saying he did it on his own.
Yeah. And won an MVP.
And won an MVP doing it. So I would love to see him with Mike Williams and the other wide receiver they have. I would like to see what he can do. I seen what he did in college when he had some wide receivers. But
he's out of here. He's going.
Nah, they're gonna franchise tag him, which is gonna cost them. It's gonna cost them about $40 million, which I can't. That's why I'm like, I can't blame him if he wasn't 100%.
If he didn't get hurt, it's wrong. But the last two seasons, Lamar's been hurt.
So the first 5 games of the season, who was in the runnings for MVP?
Lamar.
That's my point.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then now going into the next segment, would you want to play with Lamar?
What do you mean?
Terry, would you want to play with Lamar? After he didn't show up to the playoff game, would you want to play with him, T?
Like I said, if he was able to go, or if he was able to, like I said, put on a knee brace and give it a go, you know, and he didn't do that, then my answer is no, I wouldn't want to play with him. And that's just from a player's perspective, because, I mean, these guys are in the trenches. Now, I do feel like, and again, I'm not Lamar Jackson. He represents himself. But as a teammate who goes in the trenches, I would have liked for him to travel with the team. No matter what issues you have with the organization, management, I would have liked to see you there. But that didn't happen. So I'm going to say no, because I think he's checked out.
Yeah. Well, we got somebody on the call who's going to chime in there on his 2 cents. Is he there?
Yes. Good evening. This is the swaggy man himself. And I came to call and let everybody know that I got my ear to the streets and Lamar Jackson needs to get paid. And I said it before. He said he's out of here. He's gone. You saw the crypto message that he sent. So, Baltimore, beware of the message that he sent. He said, when you have something good, you take good care of it. Because if you take care of that good thing will take care of you. This is Emerson checking in on Exo Sports Talk. And I just want to say hello to all my wonderful people out there in social media land. And this is the best talk show ever, Exo Sports Talk. And I got one more thing to say before I get off this line. How about them Cowboys?
I thought that might slide in there.
Yeah.
I thought that might get in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Well, gentlemen, y'all have a great night. I'm calling you from unknown parts of the world, and now my time is up, and I must go.
Right. How's the weather in San Fran?
Oh, yeah. We're going down to San Fran, and we're going to do what we got to do because we're going to be playing in the NFC Championship game. And guess what? You heard it here first. My kicker is going to pay big dividends in this game. Brett Maher is going to redeem himself in this game in San Fran. You heard it here first. And there's going to be a big kickoff or punt return from my main man, Turpin, our punt returner and kick returner. You heard it here first. How about them Cowboys? Gotta go.
We'll make sure we hear from him if they lose. We'll make sure we hear that.
Even if once they lose and I can't find them, I'll turn into a bounty hunter.
I'll make sure to
I will
play
track him down. Famous words of Tommy Lee Jones. Check every outhouse, every hen house.
You know where you can hide.
Yeah. The person we are looking for is Emerson the Swag.
Yeah.
Swag.
Yep, some good games, so can't wait.
Now, guys, we watched a horrible game on Monday night. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting shellacked by the by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I talked to a guy today at work, and he was like, we were both on the same accord that Brady was like, if you can't protect me in this game, I'll throw the ball in the ground. I'll throw it anywhere. I'm not going down on that dirt.
Yeah.
And I'll use his first name. Angelo said, I totally agree with you. And I said, you know what, Angelo? I said, I remember what Brett Favre said after he retired. He says, I can throw the football, but I just don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw Monday night from Brady. I don't want to get hit. I can throw the football, but if you can't protect me, we got problems here.
Yeah.
Terry, do you see, will Tom Brady retire, or will he play for the Raiders or the Dolphins?
Let me just say this.
They rumored the Jets too.
Yeah, I saw that. Let me just say this. When you're throwing balls away because you think you're about to get hit instead of almost getting hit, I think it's a sign. And I've been saying this. It's time to let the game go. Because the QB position, getting hit is a part of the game. It doesn't change no matter how old you are. And let's face it, the league has made some changes to how and when the quarterback can get hit. And it's a lot different since he made his first NFL start, right? So it's time. It was a good run, 10 Super Bowl appearances, 7 Super Bowl rings, 5 MVPs. He's a legend. There's nothing more for him to prove. He gave all he had to the game. I say leave the game alone now before the game leaves you alone.
Yeah.
So he's going to retire. He's going to retire.
So you don't see him going to the Raiders or Miami?
No. You just said it. If they can't protect him, this is say it's going to be a night where they come up against, let's just take the Raiders, where you're going to come up against a defensive line that's dominant, like the 49ers, right? And they're going to get to them. And if you're going to just throw the ball away, then it's not worth it. And the thing that I've been saying why he should have just let it go last year is because you don't know when that big hit's coming.
Yep.
So it was a great run. You're a legend. I don't think what he's done will ever be duplicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's time.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you an analogy here of, and Terry, when you're younger, you do things and you don't think of the consequences. I remember we rode our bikes with a couple of friends. We went out to Milford area, and then we was coming back, and we come down this hill, driving, in the middle of traffic and all that. We all racing down the hill. One of our friends took a spill. And right in the middle of the street, he took a spill. But that was just to say, when you're young, you don't think about things. You don't think about falling. You just get up on that bike and you just ride it no matter what. When you get older, you be like, nah, I'm not getting on that bike, because you're thinking about the consequences. If I fall, it's going to hurt. If I fall, I might break something. I might just lean the wrong way and take a spill, as we seen Biden happen. So, but he was a trooper. He got up. But my point is that when you get older, you don't want to do things. What's up?
When they got Biden up, he put his hands on his hips, sucked in some air, and he was a trooper. And he said, "Okay, questions."
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been up on that bike. That's my story.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying about Brady. He's done. He's the GOAT, but sprinkle curry all over him because he's done. He's
You got nothing to prove.
Yeah.
Got nothing to prove.
Nah. Because he looked awful in that game.
Here's the problem. Somebody is still going to give him a job. Somebody is going to say, I'm going to build an offensive line around him through the draft, through the free agency to protect him. I see Brady going to either the Raiders or Miami. And I would say Brady's almost looking at $70 million for 2 years. Because there's, let's say 3 years.
No.
You're talking about an NFL contract. You're not talking about it. You're not talking about baseball.
Yeah, I know.
You're not talking about basketball, guaranteed.
Yep.
So you can say $70 million over 3 years. Don't mean you're going to get it.
Well, let me just say this, Aaron. Miami's offense, they couldn't protect Tua.
But you know what? That owner wanted Brady.
I know.
Before.
I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
That owner is looking at like this. If I bring Brady to Miami, how many, and believe it or not, there are a lot of Miami fans throughout the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you take a Brady uniform jersey, how many jerseys you think you would sell?
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, business, money wise. But what I'm saying is,
and you just said it right there, business, money, and these owners are like this. They don't care if they're going to win.
Well, what's in it for Brady though?
Yeah.
That's my point. You're looking at the owner. I'm talking about for Brady. What's in it for him? You do.
Well,
You know he
Brady's
likes to
looking at
win.
Brady likes to win, but Brady's got Tyreek and the other kid.
Yep, but that offensive
Wide
line is
receiver.
really no good. They went through two quarterbacks.
But if I'm the owner and I'm the general manager, I'm going to tell them, look, if we got to go out and get some free agents and sign them to protect you, we're going to do it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. He would want that. He wouldn't even entertain it without them saying that. But it's not worth it.
Yeah,
It's not.
That doesn't guarantee you in the AFC.
yeah. The
That
Josh
doesn't guarantee.
Allen,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes.
No, but see, I think Brady was on his way. It was either going to be between Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
But I would say he
But
would
all
rather
of
go
us-
to the NFC than AFC if he's looking
But
for
one-
go to the championship.
One thing happened along the way. Brock Purdy showed up out of nowhere
Yeah, well, that's still
and canceled the job for Brady or Aaron Rodgers to get that job.
Mm-hmm.
In the NFC, I don't think Brady would want or Rodgers. I don't think they'd want to go to Washington. I don't think they'd want to go to Seattle.
Who?
Brady or Aaron Rodgers.
Well, like I said, your young stud quarterbacks are in the AFC. So
Yeah,
you might want to go out to the NFC.
And if you go to Arizona, there's no talent there. They got a decent running back in Connors, but
They're not ready. They're not ready. And
defense is not.
Arizona, they just gave their money. Hey.
yep. So the teams that are ready, that's starving for a quarterback, but it's like they're going to they're going to beat up on each other, is the AFC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
So you got to figure. I'd say Brady is between. I'm going to say the Dolphins. That's where I see Brady
I
going.
don't see that.
Yeah, fix that offensive line.
Yeah, I don't see that because I said the offensive line and the whole Tua situation.
Well, once I put it to you like this, once you see Brady in a Dolphins uniform, I'll have a bucket of crow for you.
He'll get a booth job. He'll be in the booth.
Nah.
He'll get big money there.
He can make that money in endorsements.
Yeah, he'll get in the booth. Look at Tony Romo. Be doing
No
sketches.
comment.
He'll be doing everything else. So
No comment. Let's move on. I can't. Guys, what more can you say about Brock Purdy? This kid has come out of nowhere. And what did they call him, T?
Mr. Irrelevant.
Well, he's
Last
irrelevant
pick in
now.
the draft.
last pick. How many rounds in the NFL draft? 7 or 8? I think it's 7.
I think 7.
But it might be 8, but I don't know. But the last person picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. I remember. I was seeing it on the TV. I'm like, who's this guy? Saw a little film. I'm like, okay.
Probably
We
number
got our
300.
quarterbacks. I'm like, we got Trey. Wasn't sure what was going to happen with Jimmy G, but it all worked out.
You know, we talked about this Tuesday in the production meeting. I mean, he was what, the third string quarterback?
Yep.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Trey got hurt. Now that made move the job over to
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Jimmy GQ.
So Jimmy starts winning some games. But I'm thinking behind the scenes, they had to look at Purdy in the practice going, hey, this kid is really not that bad. and they didn't water down the offense for him.
Mm-hmm.
Most third string quarterbacks or second string quarterbacks that haven't had that much rep, you say, okay, here's the play, but they usually get nervous and they only see their first read, maybe their second read, and then they throw the football because the speed of the game. This kid is throwing the football like, yeah, I've been playing this game for 3 to 4 years now. What do you say about that, Terry?
Well, after we had our talk in our production meeting on Tuesday, I was thinking about it. And, I think he took full advantage of the situation that he walked into over in San Francisco. Because if you remember, there was a point in time, training camp had started, and the 49ers were not yet sure what they were going to do with Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
And they allowed him to work out at the facility, but they didn't give him any playbooks. So I'm wondering if this kid, because at that point, is he now second string? Was he seeing some things? Was he in the film room? Was he, in the playbook, just taking advantage? Because, again, it could have been that he might have ended up being a second string because the 49ers had not decided what they were going to do yet with Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say about this kid, right? I mean, he's gained the trust and respect of not only what coaches, executives say around the league about Kyle Shanahan, right? They call him an offensive guru. You said they didn't dial anything back for him. But, I mean, you look at the players they have: Trent Williams, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, Deebo Samuels, Christian McCaffrey. Even on the defensive end, players that they said they have nothing but respect for this kid. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. Now, that's 5 out of 9 players that I just named that are Pro Bowlers. And then the other players that I named that aren't Pro Bowlers, they're alternate.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's on a 7-8 game winning streak since he took over. And he came in when Jimmy G got hurt against a Miami team at the time that had a healthy Tua. Their defense, the defense is talented, and they were playing good. And he came in fearless. And from that, I expected Shanahan to dial it back that day. A lot of run, smash mouth, but he didn't. And if you look at this winning streak, right, the next game he started against the Bucs. Again, we know what Tampa is. We're talking about you going against the GOAT, Hall of Famer, MVP, Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
They went and beat a Seahawks team that was talented, right? Geno Smith was hot.
Yep.
They went and beat Washington, whose defense is not a slouch, another talented team. And then they came in and to me, what proved to be, I feel like, his moment where he was gut checked, that game against the Raiders, because that was a good game, went overtime, and he turned around and won that game, and then beat Seattle last week. So they play Seattle 3 times. You know how hard it is to beat a team in the NFL, much less a playoff team, 3 times in the season, well, twice in the regular season, then in the playoffs. So there's not too much more you can say. I mean, I'm watching him. He makes the right decision. He's poised back there. He's making his reads, making the right check downs. I'll say this. I had a few people say to me, if the 49ers don't win the Super Bowl, the season is a big win because they found the gem in the draft in Purdy. But I'm going to hold him to the standard of the great Kobe Bryant. Brock, is the job finished yet? I don't think so. Go Niners.
Terry, what did Brock come in? Brock came in the game against Miami.
Yep. Jimmy G, that's when he
Yep.
what was it? It wasn't broken. Well, they thought it was broken, but it ended up not being as bad as they thought.
Yeah.
So he's on a 6-game winning streak.
I think
Yep.
7 at this point.
Yeah.
He beat the Buccaneers,
Yep.
Seattle,
Yep. Commanders, Raiders,
Cardinals.
Arizona. But Arizona was undermanned in that
Don't
game, so
matter.
I won't
It's a
even
win.
really count it.
It counts. It counts.
Yep.
It counts.
Hey, yeah.
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 Every win counts.
And he has a playoff win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I was looking for him in this game, I want to see when adversity hit, how he would perform. And when Seattle went on to, I think that second quarter, like a 17-0 run, the kid didn't waver. And there was one play in particular that I remember he went and he threw a bomb or a deep pass. I think the Niners got tacked at like the 10. And then the next play, they was doing some sort of play action read or something. And the lineman came in free. And normally somebody who is a mobile quarterback, they try to mobile and do something, take a loss, and he just threw the ball in the dirt. He just right away, he just knew exactly what to do. It just was like, okay, this kid, he's not afraid of the moment. He knows what he's doing back there.
Yeah. And for me, sorry to cut you off, Aaron, but
no, go ahead.
What surprised me was when the game first started, it was raining. It was downpouring. And I said, okay, we do it. Shanahan's going to dial it back. They came out first play of the game, shotgun. And you saw the jitters, right? Because the throw, I think he either had Brandon Ayuk. I can't remember if it was Ayuk or Jennings, but he overthrew the ball. And I said, okay, but it didn't phase him. Didn't phase him at all. And you would think at that point too, after I saw that, I said, okay, Shanahan's definitely going to dial it back. It's raining hard, but he's opened up the playbook to this kid. And, but I'll give the Niners do have a lot of offensive talent too. But like I said, to not show any chink in your armor or feel the pressure, it's impressive.
Yeah. They went into the half with the lead, Seahawks.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Brian.
Off a bad play, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. But then the kid is showing a lot of poise, man. And Shanahan is calling a hell of a game. Has a good grasp of what they want to do and how they want to do it. And on a defensive end, when you look at all that talent they have, you don't know what to do because you got so much people, wide receivers who can run like a running back, running backs who can do wide receiver things. The quarterback can move around the pocket. You don't know what to do. So, and he's pulling out all the cards, the coordinator, but this kid, he's showing some real poise to me. He's showing that he's not afraid of the moment. I'm curious to see how it all works out because let's not forget they still have a high draft pick quarterback that hasn't even played 2-3 games yet, I don't think. So, but T, I know you're looking for that win and hopefully you'll get it.
Now, Terry, 49ers and the Cowboys, who do you have?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Let me think about this. I'm going with the Niners. Come on, man. It's the Niners, man. Not to take anything from the Cowboys. They're a tough opponent. I feel like if the Niners can keep Micah Parsons in check and they can contain Dallas's running game and to me and Dak looked great. Dak looked really good against Tampa. But if they can get the Cowboys in predictable passing situations, so where that Nick Bosa and that D-line can just focus on rushing the quarterback and not worry about the run, I think we can win this game. And after what I saw in that Dallas-Tampa game, I'm kind of expecting Kyle Shanahan to run a little hurry up on offense so that the Cowboys can get the right personnel in on defense.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Keep my eye out on that.
Okay, Brian.
But
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on that, Terry. That's a good point.
yeah,
But I think that the Niners will win. Cowboys played last week. They beat a team who looked like they was not that good, that got into the playoffs, and they beat them. And I think they're going to run into a team that has way more weapons than they just saw. And how they're going to contain it, I don't know how they're going to contain it. Because they only got one Diggs. The other corner ain't that good. And then you got these running backs. So I don't see the Cowboys winning this game. And I could see Jerry Jones looking at Dak saying, what's the problem? And he's going to say, they're a better team. He's going to say, get the hell out of here.
mm-hmm. Let me just say this, since Mr. How About Them Cowboys called in. If the Cowboys can't beat a team that has a rookie quarterback, third string quarterback at that, it would say a lot about ownership, the organization, the team's character, and the players.
Yes.
Shots fired, and let's go.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Oh, man.
I can see that. Yep. Oh, man.
All righty. Oh, man. Wow, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Bengals in Buffalo.
Good
Brian.
game. Good game. Good game right there. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take the Bengals. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I trust Burrows more than I do Josh, but good game.
I'm going with the Bengals also. I think Joe Burrows is he's going to throw the rock up there, and I don't think nothing's going to bother him. Terry.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I think the game is going to be a shootout. I didn't expect Miami to give Buffalo a hard time as they did, but I think it was a wake-up call for them. And like I've been saying all year, but Bills are on a mission, and now they got some extra motivation and trying to win it for DeMar Hamlin as well. So Buffalo.
Yeah. Giants and Eagles. Brian.
Give me the G-Men, man.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, give me.
Okay.
Glad you're not
give
my
me
bookie
any
investor.
dimes, nickels, and quarters, pennies. Give me all. Yeah. But I think the Giants will win. I think they're. I like the coaching job that they have done. I always thought Danny had got a bad rap at quarterback. They have brought in some bad head coaching before, and now that he has a good coach who knows what they're doing, you're starting to see the better side of him. So I would say coaching does matter.
Terry.
I'm gonna go Eagles. I sort of agree with you, Brian. I think the game is gonna be tight early because I think Hurts is still gonna be working through some rust from his injury. But I think the Eagles have a better defense and they have better offensive weapons with their running game and passing game. So Eagles.
I'm going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here I come. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. They got those crazy little women, and I'm gonna give me one.
Okay.
Jaguars are headed to Kansas City. Well, you got to throw in a little bit of country there, man. Come
There
on.
you go. Man. Get your swag on, man. Get it on.
All right. Let me get my banjo out, and I will.
Honky tonk.
Guys, what do you see in this game? Terry.
I like the Chiefs in this one. Again, they're the more experienced team, playoff team. And unlike the Chargers, if the Jaguars let the Chiefs go up by 27 points, the Chiefs, the Chiefs will just keep putting up points.
Mhm.
They're like the Golden State Warriors of football. Jaguars are a good young team, but again, they lack playoff experience, and Chiefs are just gonna. I won't say they're gonna demolish them, but Jaguars can't afford to go down by 17 against Kansas City.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yep, and I say that as well. I'm going to take Kansas City. I think Jacksonville has done good. They had a great season, made great strides forward, but I think Kansas City will do pretty much what the Chargers did, but just failed not to finish. So I'm expecting Kansas City to win that game, which this worked out good for Kansas City too, because they didn't have to go through Cincinnati and Buffalo. They only have to play one of them once.
Yeah.
Well, though I'm in Kansas City right now, because I'm going to Kansas City, I am taking the Jaguars.
Okay.
And this is the reason why. I told Brian in the summertime when Jacksonville came to Pittsburgh and played them in the preseason game, I said, Brian, that team is physical. I said that offensive line is strong and that defensive line is strong. And if Kansas City goes in there and Patrick Mahomes doesn't take this team serious, this game will be close, right down to the wire, because Jacksonville learned something last week. Keep fighting. Have a bone in that game and go after that bone, and they did last Saturday. And I think they're going to do the same thing to Kansas City. They're going to come out and play a physical style brand of football. And so now all we have to do is get some popcorn, some ice cream, some hot dogs, some hamburgers.
Ice cream.
And sit back and watch football Saturday and Sunday.
Still got time to jump on that bandwagon.
Some of us get to relax and watch it. Some of us will be stressing watching it because somebody's got to go down. A Cowboy.
Still got time. You still got time to get on that bandwagon.
As they say, somebody's O has got to go.
Yeah.
Guys, another good show.
Yeah.
Brian, tell me about that subscribe button, please.
Yeah, and before I do go to that subscribe, XNO, we just want to give a shout out to the Frisk University, who will become the first HBCU team to compete in the NCAA women's gymnastics. We want to give them a shout out, and hopefully they do well. Which is hard to believe that they're the first. It's hard to believe that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we are trying to stride and make strides forward as a
go in there and let them know.
As a whole, as people, as all as one. So
this is my house.
Shout out to Coach Prime for being the pioneer, paving the way.
Paving the way. Yep. That's what we were talking about before. Yep, that's a good point, T. Yep.
Him and his Aflac duck. Guys, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to Exo Sports episode 81. And we hope to see everybody next week for episode 82. Maybe Emerson and Malcolm will not be working. And if they are working, the show must go on. Once again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Good night. God bless.
Go Niners.
Go Niners. Go Niners. Oh, somebody's got to fall. That's all I know.